normal guy trying to live in the woods and make some money out of being there.
Marty Meierotto of Mountain Men faced the worst situation anyone could find themselves in. He went from being one of the most popular cast members on Mountain Men to living a tragedy. His successful career took a hit, and things changed for the worse. How did Marty deal with the painful moments in his life? Did he make a comeback from the hardship he faced? This is a story of Marty's life and how he faced the wild. Stay tuned. Who is Marty Meierotto? Marty Meierotto was born on the 10th of July, 1966 in North Wisconsin, United States. His parents, Thomas and Karen Meierotto, instilled in him a love for the desert. He grew an interest in his family's fur trapping business at a young age and spent his childhood touring the cold lands with his brothers, Jeff and Steve Meierotto. He loved chasing the animals that others would run away from when he was younger.
Yeah, I love chasing wolves.
After elementary and high school, he gave up the chance for college to join his family's fur trapping business. However, he discovered that it was challenging to do such business in North Wisconsin. There were few wild animals to catch, which made the competition intense. He took a step to leave the city in 1985. He and his brother Jeff drove to Alaska in search of fur. That's where they found an abundance of animals. Although their goal was to trap fur in the cold state for a short period, they couldn't resist the beauty and serenity of Alaska as time went by. They fell in love with the land and decided to extend their stay. To build his trapping venture, Marty took on several odd jobs to earn more money. He worked as a janitor in Fairbanks. He took up logging and construction jobs to afford his first trap and tent. Whenever he had spare time, he never passed up the chance to go trapping. Marty's life in Alaska wasn't easy, but he loved it. He did not mind taking on other jobs to support his dream of building a life in the desert. He worked for a couple of years before quitting his job to become a full-time trapper. With this huge step, he had to learn survival skills to overcome the harsh climate in Alaska. He built himself a small cabin that was easier to warm in cold Alaska. To catch animals, he would set trap lines about 200 miles north of Fairbanks. He had a resolve that could withstand temperatures that were 30 to 40 degrees below zero. He took advantage of the short days and long nights in winter, which Alaska is known for. Marty upgraded his trapping venture to a large scale by building more cabins along his trap lines for shelter. Many friends couldn't understand Marty's decision to leave comfort and reside in the cold wilderness, but he was determined to see his dream come to life. How he began. Meierotto took on a journey to pursue a passion that kept him in the wilderness for many decades. Keeping a close bond with his family and surviving in the cold is something many would never dare, yet he found a way to make it all work. He is one of the greatest trappers in history. Marty was also a smoke jumper. He got a job at the Alaska Fire Service as a smoke jumper in 1994. He recorded 337 jumps and 114 fire responses. Firefighting was also part of Marty's other endeavors. He began his career in 1988. He worked as a wildland firefighter in the Chena Interagency Hotshot. The agency admitted 8 candidates and graduated only 4 in 1994. Marty was one of the 4 who completed the grueling training. He also prepared several others for the journey and trained them. He loved flying. It was one of his true passions. He always wanted to be a pilot, and he found a way to make it a perfect blend with his life in the wilderness. Although Marty was a full-time trapper,
And what happens?
he did not rely entirely on the occupation. During summer, the trapping season was not always in full swing. He took advantage of this season for his other ventures. In such moments, he switched roles and traveled to various locations in the state to fight fires. He used parachutes to access areas affected by fire. He was always excited about the job because he was familiar with Alaska. It also provided extra income to support his wife and daughter. Marty enjoyed being in the wide open spaces with his family. Alaska was his favorite place. He spends the sub-zero winters in a basic one-room cabin. After several frozen nights, his trapping work caught the attention of the History Channel television producers. They were fascinated that someone could survive out in the wild and thought it was a great showcase. History Channel proposed a deal with Marty, and he accepted. He began a documentary series to showcase his trapping skills and appeared on television in 2012. He not only displayed his passion, he also earned money and gained popularity. He grew a fan base and became known as Marty Meierotto's Mountain Men. How was his performance on the show? If it was great, why did he quit? Sit still as we uncover the life of this legend and how he handled the obstacles in Alaska. Mountain Men. Mountain Men premiered on May 31st, 2012. The reality television show has captivated audiences for decades, offering a glimpse into the lives of those who embrace the rugged wilderness. Fans who stay glued to the show report that the series is a mix of adventure, danger, and self-reliance. They always want to see a thrilling installment of bushcraft, hunting, and survival tactics. With the new season premiere come seasoned cast members and potential newcomers. The new faces offer fresh perspectives on life in the desert. The cast members experience heart-pounding encounters with nature, survival decisions, and the unwavering spirit that defines men who dare to explore harsh deserts. Marty gave people a rare glimpse into his way of life that few experience firsthand. However, he wasn't the only cast member. Tom Orr, Eustace Conway, Preston Roberts, Jake Herrick, Brett Bone, and Mike Horstman were other cast members of the popular History Channel series Mountain Men who lived in the wilderness. Eustace Conway resides on a parcel of land in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. He calls this home Turtle Island and welcomes guests who are interested in learning basic wilderness survival skills. Conway also makes money using ancient techniques to harvest firewood. Tom Orr is another member of the Mountain Men cast. He resides near the Yak River in northwestern Montana with his wife Nancy and their dog Ellie. Tom is a tanner of game animal pelts. He is experienced in using natural Native American methods. Jake Herrick is another cast member and a mountain lion hunter. He lives in Montana's Tobacco Root Mountains and has made frequent appearances on Mountain Men since joining the series in 2018. He got attention with his expertise in hunting. The 1989 television personality had a unique experience from most of the cast members. His father battled cancer for several years, and that affected Jake. It was one of his drives to seek solace in nature. In 2021, he proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Annika Ward. Mike Horstman is an experienced bear hunting guide. He took refuge on Kodiak Island in Alaska with his dog Adele. He is a legendary figure from the Mountain Men cast and has been featured in several reality television shows. He was born on the 19th of December, 1954. The Jonesville native, now over 70 years old, still loves outdoor life. As a kid, he went hunting with his uncles and participated in hunting games. He developed great interest during his adolescent years and often dreamt of hunting in Alaska. He killed his first bear at 17 and was ready for an adventure in Alaska. It's been over 40 years since Mike has been living in Kodiak. He loves the remote coastline cabin and is not bothered that his terrain can only be accessed by boat or plane. He learned how to survive and earn a living in the wilderness. He guides bear hunts for 11 weeks in a year and tries out everything he can. Marty was as much a part of the series as the other men who share their outdoor skills with viewers. "This is my church. This is where I feel most like me," he said. Every episode showcased the cast facing dangers. There was always a tense sequence as fans watched the cast's survival tactics on display. From their dogs tracking and deterring bears to building massive cabins across hundreds of miles of harsh terrain, the Mountain Men kept fans intrigued throughout every season. They loved to see them showcasing perseverance in the daily struggles of living out in the wild. The show had a good rating on popular streaming sites. IMDb gave it a rating of 7.3, while Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 80% score. The ratings are impressive for a show that displays people with unconventional lifestyles. It also translates to great investments for the show producers, which means the cast receives better pay. How much do Mountain Men make per episode? Despite their age, they are among the highest-paid actors in the industry. Their lives in the woods might not portray luxury, but they sure have money in their bank accounts. Each cast is reported to earn $3,500 per episode. Although the pay is sometimes adjusted to suit the actor's output, the cast members still have a good take-home pay. Tom is one of the actors who gets a large sum from the series. He appeared in all episodes and earned $15,000 per episode. His net worth is estimated to be $2,000. Eustace also earns an annual income of $130,000. He has become a favorite for many viewers due to his incredible skills. The naturalist and builder has come a long way on the History Channel and appeared in other projects, including Reconvergence. The 1961-year-old mountain man continues to pursue a career in reality television despite his degree in anthropology and English from Appalachian State University. Jake Herrick earns $10,000 from Mountain Men and has a net worth of $70,000. Mike Horstman is one of the oldest cast members of the series. He earns $70 annually and has a net worth of $500,000. The Mountain Men live in the interior of Alaska and are content to be hundreds of miles from civilization. Marty is no different from the other cast members. The Alaskan fur trapper became a sensation when he appeared on television. He is a trapper whose routine involves waging wars with hard-to-catch wolverines. He was an independent outdoorsman in the series. Every season featured him living alone. He worked on his cabins without help and set up his trap lines. He mounts his snowmobile to monitor his traps and see if they have caught any animals.
Build cabins if you have to. It's a lifelong endeavor.
During the day, he sets his trap lines to catch minks, beavers, rodents, and wolverines. While many thought Marty was doing something that seemed strange yet courageous, he was just living a life he loved. Staying out in the cold, chasing wolves and foxes, has been a normal routine for Marty. He began this journey in childhood, and it became a part of him that no one could take away. He rose to prominence by showcasing his work on the 8 seasons of History Channel's Mountain Men reality show. On the 7th season of Mountain Men, Marty documented his life in Two Rivers, Alaska. He showed moments with his family. He spent several winters in a one-room cabin and traveled miles by snowmobile during the day. Marty had great expertise in flying a bush plane and toured the vast wilderness with ease. His success in the series changed lives and brought hope to people. He showed resilience in the toughest challenges and stayed strong despite the terror of the wild desert. He was featured in the first 8 seasons, showing people his trapping work and survival skills while living in remote areas of the United States. Once on the show, he fended off wolves without a gun. The reality series showed how Marty would fly to a cabin in eastern Alaska to tend to animal traps and collect furs for trade. Marty also helped others with his skills. In 2013, Field and Stream put out an article about Marty's heroic moves. Bill Heavy described how Marty helped him during an Alaskan winter. The author put himself in harm's way when he visited Marty and followed him into the Alaskan wilderness. After spending 3 days with Meierotto, he got lost in the brush and nearly passed out from the cold. "I've been riding for 4 hours now. As a novice, I had no idea how physically demanding it was. In this kind of country, you ride standing up, the better to react to hidden bumps and holes." Thankfully, Bill managed to get a fire going, which helped Marty find him in the vast snow. The trapper stepped into action and helped him survive the negative 30-degree temperature. Marty's wife, Dominique, also had a hand in Bill's survival. "Never leave the cabin without a lighter and some paper in your pocket." "You got that?" she told Bill. The experience taught him that not just anyone can conquer the Alaskan wilderness. Bill expressed surprise at Marty's logical thinking and how it got him out of danger. Marty left an impact on many other people outside of the show. He had great moments on the show, but there were also times when he felt like giving up on the idea. What happened? What challenges did Marty face? Did he give in to the critics? Fear, tragedy, and controversy. Despite his career breakthrough, some aspects of his life were tragic. There were many nights of fear of what could be lurking outside the cold wilderness. There were moments when he got stuck in the wild with no sign of help. Many fans were unaware of Marty's plane crash. In the episode Closet Call of the Mountain Men, viewers watched as his airplane almost crashed, experiencing a downward nosedive while he was observing his animal traps. Marty had built a cabin a distance away from the Dranjik River on Alaska's northern slope. He made monthly visits using his Super Cub airplane, which had tundra tires equipped to survive the cold. However, it almost crashed in one incident. Although he stabilized the plane and made a safe landing, he was left stranded the whole night. Marty had no surviving gear and was forced to stay in the cabin for the entire winter. He looked for food he could rely on until the season ended. However, he learned from that experience and went on to build a snowmobile. His new machine came with its peculiarities. It could not work well without snow. Marty had to ride in at least 4 inches of snow to prevent overheating. Sometimes, while driving, he would take frequent stops and gather handfuls of snow to pack against the vehicle's heat exchanger. Once on the series, he came across a giant bear print while hunting goats on Alaska's Kodiak Island. It wasn't a thrilling experience for Marty. While mountain goats were known for living in rough areas, they were abundant on Kodiak Island, so he thought it was a good place to hunt. However, he was in for a surprise. After making his way into the territory on foot, he saw the first sign of danger: footprints of bears. The animals also frequented the area, so that meant danger for Marty. He raised his concerns and fears after estimating that the prints belonged to a brown bear that measured at least 9 feet in length. The scared but prepared trapper muttered, "This is exactly what I didn't want to happen." Although he had a rifle for protection, he had witnessed incidents that took the lives of others, and there was little or nothing he could do to save the day. This was one of several experiences Marty had while out in the woods. He also had to watch the demise of several friends. The demise of Preston Roberts was a shock not only to Marty, but also to the mountain men community. He was a legendary outdoorsman who thrilled fans with his experiences. In 2017, he passed away after he was diagnosed with cancer. An inoperable tumor was found on his liver, which caused his body to quickly shut down. Marty penned an emotional tribute to Preston, praising his kindness and noting how he always put others first. He also supported a donation to help Preston's family. The fundraising setup for the outdoorsman topped $110,000 5 weeks after his demise. A new roof for the family home, which he had been working on before his passing, was fitted using the money. Marty has had several such moments on the show. He was sad at the departure of friends who had been part of his life. This made Marty rethink the life he was pursuing. Could this be his reason for quitting the series? Was he afraid of losing his life?